Hello everyone, welcome to a new video, a new plenty video. It is me, Desiree, and today, I need to clean off this desk. I was just gathering all the plants in here to talk about and I have this mess. Let me show you what it looks like. I'll do it later, Anyway, I just looked down and thought, oh my god, look at this mess. Anyway, I didn't really know what else to call this video besides cool things my plants are doing, because I just noticed some of my plants are growing like flowers, new leaves. Some of them are growing that I didn't even know could grow or like were going to grow, and I thought I would just share with you all the cool things my plants are doing. There's some flowers, some new leaves, some roots, just some cool things I thought were cool. So I have a few in this room and then I have a couple in the other room that I'll go in there and film. So let's talk about the first few that are in here. This one is kind of unremarkable, but I think it's very cool because I didn't think this was going to do anything. So this little cactus guy, this is called a paper spine cactus. I'm sure there's like another name for it, but this is a paper spine and it's in a terracotta from the Dollar Tree. I got this because it was like detached from a plant. I would never advocate for stealing from the plant store. Maybe if it's Lowe's, maybe Lowe's or Home Depot, I think might be okay to like take a little propagation if you want, because the reality is most of the plants they have there, they look horrible already. They're going to die anyway, they're going to be on the clearance rack soon, and you're going to regret not having cut a leaf off that plant. I would never do that because I would be way too scared. But this little piece was actually detached, like it was off, it was on the ground, and I thought, that's fair, right? I could take that, right? I did end up buying a plant. I just got this and put it in the plant. They didn't question it. They just rang it up and let me take it, and I don't regret it. But I didn't know what to do with it because it was just this little piece. I left it on the windowsill forever, just sitting there, and it wasn't declining. It was just sitting. And then one day I thought, I'm just gonna put it in some soil and see if it does anything. It's really just sitting in here. And today I took it out and the tiniest little root is popping out of that bottom. I mean, it's taken a long time for it to get there and it's really small, but I can't believe it's growing. Like, it's growing the tiniest root. It's soon gonna have a root system and it'll be its own little plant. But for now, it's literally just sitting here. I don't think I ever watered it when I put it in here. Should I? I'm not sure if I should. But yeah, that's one of the cool things my plants are doing. This one's actually doing something. And I love this thing because it looks like a little head with some crazy hair on it. Let me just put it back in there without messing up that little root. Should I water it? Let me know. Let me know if I'm supposed to water this or not, because he's just kind of sitting here hanging out. Cute. All right. The next one is going to be kind of gross. I don't know why I think this plant is so gross, but it's one of my favorite plants that I have, and it's these here. They're called lithops or living rocks. So when I first bought these, I bought 3 of them at Smith's, or one of the grocery stores here. Last summer, they got this huge, amazing rack, and I'm hoping they get it again this year, because now I know what some of the plants are that are on there, and I really regret not buying them. They had a lot of cool cactus and succulents, and it was really cool, and everything was $6 or $7. And they had lithops on there, and I thought they looked really cool. They didn't ring up at the register. The lady gave them to me for $1 each, and I regret not going to get all of them. But anyway, when I first got these, they were flat, and they were even with the rocks that are in here. So I have some like real rocks in here, and they were flat as them. They camouflaged in, and they look really cool. I've actually only watered these 3 times since I've had it. I wait till they are super, super dry and they're actually like a little bit wrinkled, and then I water them because I'm terrified to overwater them, and so far they've done really well with that kind of watering. They just look gross. I don't know why. Like, I just don't like this thing. I don't know. But they've grown so much. I can't believe how fast these have grown. It seems like every time I water them, they just like burst with new growth. I think I am going to take them out of this pot though and put them in something bigger, because maybe not bigger, but more like arrange them differently, because they're kind of overlapping each other. They're pushing against the pot here. But look how cool they look now. I mean, whoops, cool if not gross. So these 2 pieces here used to be all the way closed, and every time I watered them, they would just open up, and it looks like a new thing is gonna grow inside of it. I don't know why, they're just so funny to me, and I just think they're really cool. It's one of my #1 favorites that I have, but I do want to put them in a different pot because I think they're kind of outgrowing this space. Like they're just kind of crowded in there. So yeah, that's one of the cool things my plants are doing, is that he's growing and he looks gross, but also really cool. All right, next up is my dollar bamboo. I actually forgot I had this. My grandma asked me the other day if I had bamboo, and I told her no, because I completely forgot that I had this, but it sits in my kitchen and just kind of sits there, lives life, and I forget about it all the time. I just pour water in it and make sure there's always water in here, and he does fine. I got this at Lowe's. It was $1. It had a really rotten stalk in there, and I just pulled it out, and it's doing well. It's growing all these leaves, but the cool thing this plant has done is grow this new little piece here. So this pot used to be full to the top with rocks that were glued together, and they were so hard. I couldn't move it. I couldn't like repot it because that's what I was going to do. And now I'm kind of glad I didn't, because it's doing well in this situation. But this little piece here grew through the glued in rocks, and I couldn't believe it. Like, it was so determined to grow through the glue. I did end up giving this to my boyfriend and go, can you cut those rocks off, but don't hurt my little plant? And he got all of the glued rocks off. The rest under here are loose. But I thought that was really cool that this little piece just was like, I'm going through there one way or another, and now it's getting so big now that he's freed. And I'm super happy with this. I love it. And I can't believe I forgot about it. But yeah, that's a cool thing. I think that it grew through the glued rocks. I thought that was pretty cool. And this next one, oh my gosh, I can't believe this has something growing from it. So this is my philodendron golden dragon. This is just a one leaf rooted cutting. And it's been sitting in this little thing for a long time. For the most part, it doesn't need this stake that I put in here. It stands up straight on its own. But I don't know, got worried about it, so I put it there just for my own peace of mind. And I never thought this was going to grow. I thought it was just going to be one leaf his whole life, and I'm happy with that. This is a really cool looking plant, isn't it? I love it so much. But look at this little nub right there. I just saw this a little while ago and I was going, oh my goodness. I can't believe it. I'm sure that little tiny nub there is going to take a long time to grow and turn into a big beautiful leaf, but it's something. It's something, and I never thought this would grow. I was shocked when I saw it, actually. And I love it so much. I did put these white rocks in there decoratively so it would look nice, but every time I water it, they just get like mixed with the soil, so it looks kind of messy. But yeah, look at that new little leaf. I can't believe it. So excited. Speaking of new leaves, let me show you this other plant. All right, I'm gonna try to do this with the camera instead of my phone this time. But this plant right here, this is a philodendron McDowell. And I know I mentioned a philodendron McDowell in my favorites video that was super crusty and crunchy, but I actually have two of them. This is another one that I bought online right when I saw that it went on sale because I was worried the other one was going to die. And it arrived in perfect condition. 3 big, beautiful leaves were on it. I have this here in a west-facing window, and it loves the light in here so much. But look at this. A new leaf. I cannot believe this thing grew a leaf. At first it had put out like this red stick thing, and I didn't know what it was, and then a leaf slowly grew out of it. And it was in there for a long time, and then yesterday it just started unfurling, and then this morning it was completely unrolled. And it's so beautiful. I can't believe this plant has a new leaf. This is a plant that I think is gonna grow kind of like just a row, like a big long row of leaves. So I might have to put this in a new planter, like one of those long ones. But I had to show you that new leaf because it's just so glorious. I have to keep myself from touching it constantly, but I love this plant a lot, and it loves the light in here. The next plant I wanted to show you something cool is my philodendron bobsea. This is one of my favorite plants that I own. I just absolutely love it. It's my baby. But for some reason, let me move my ears. For some reason, it grew 2 leaves in the same sheath, and the leaf that popped out is like so weird looking. it like started unfurling, but it's just like a weird misshapen little leaf, which is strange because the previous leaf that grew was this one. I'm not sure what that's about, but there's a second leaf growing there. Maybe that one stole all of this one's energy, and then that next leaf is going to be like a super mutant humongous leaf. If you've had this happen on one of your bobsies, let me know if that's normal, because it was very weird. And also this one grew two out of the same sheath as well. This stem and this stem were both in this little sheath here. This one ended up turning into a leaf, and then this one ended up growing like this. I don't really know. I've never seen that happen before on this plant, but I thought that was pretty interesting. All right, next up, I have to show you these two peace lilies I have in the bathroom. I keep them here on top of the toilet tank. They love it in here. They get a lot of light from the skylight that's right outside the room, and they seem to love it, so I keep them in here, and they look cool too. This one here grew a big, beautiful flower. Oh my gosh, it's so, so pretty. Like, I keep just wanting to touch it all the time. This one here didn't grow any flowers, and I feel like he was feeling jealous of all the attention this flower was getting and thought, I'm going to grow a flower of my own. Let me show you the flower this one grew. Look. Oh my god, this makes me laugh so much. Look at that tiny, tiny little flower it grew. It also grew one right down there. Oh my god, the tiniest little thing. But look at this. I think that is so cute and so funny because he was just feeling jealous of all the attention this one was getting and was like, I'll show you. And then look what he did. Oh my god, so funny. All right, next one. I don't remember the name of this one. I'm gonna have to put it on the screen here. I feel like it's something with a C. Also, I know it is part of the spider plant family, which I think is interesting. But I love this one. It's so beautiful. It kind of looks like an outdoor plant, but it has these really beautiful, like creamsicle orange stems with these really nice, like kind of thick floppy leaves, and I love it. But this one has been growing a little tiny flower. Look at that. I think that is so cute. I didn't even know this plant could get flowers. I just think, I don't know, so beautiful. It's also growing one on the other side too. Little, I don't know if you could see, it's like a tiny, tiny, tiny little one down there. I love this plant, super easy to take care of. I just let it dry out and water it. I don't know, bright-ish indirect light, and it just grows super easy. It's a really nice plant to have because it looks like an outdoor plant that's inside. I think it's really pretty, and I can't believe he's getting a flower. And the last plant that is doing something so cool is my bird of paradise. It's putting out a leaf and it looks like it's this tall. But once it unfurls, I feel like it's gonna be a decent sized leaf. I've had this plant since last year. I kept it outside most of the year in a north facing porch. Like, it didn't get any bright direct light at all. Mostly just ambient light throughout the day. It put out one leaf, and this year it's putting out another one, and I cannot wait to see how big it's gonna get. This plant is actually one that is way more simple than I thought it was going to be. I have it in my living room. It's kind of under a skylight, and it gets that kind of nice bright light all day. I water it when it's dry, and that's it. It's kind of one of the most easygoing plants I have. I just forget about it all the time. It's very, very easy. But it's putting out a leaf, and I can't wait to see how big it is. And now that I look at the window, do I want to mention that one, or is it too ugly? No, he's not. He's beautiful. Let me show you him. I know this looks ridiculous. I'm aware. You may remember look at this poor thing. You may remember this plant. This is my senecio chalk sticks, or blue chalk sticks. I don't remember if it's the regular one or the blue one. I bought this from a mystery box from rooted.com, and it was this little tiny guy, and this is what it's grown into. It is on a stick for support because I don't know why I didn't have this in this room where I have all the other succulents. They all love it on the windowsill in here, but for some reason I had this one in the kitchen just getting ambient light from the skylight and stuff, and it was getting so leggy. Like these little arm things that it puts out, it was like an inch in between each one, and it was the leggiest plant in the world. I don't know why I never put it in the window. But the second I did move it in here and put it in the window, it immediately tipped over and it wasn't really strong anymore. And so I put this stake on there just to kind of give it some stability, because till about right here, it's very sturdy, but the rest of it like leans really bad, and I'm just afraid it's gonna crack in half. So I'm just I have this stick there just for his support. But the cool thing that it's doing, well, for one, the second I put it in here, like it started growing like crazy. Like this needed so much light, and I don't know why I didn't give it light. But it immediately put out this whole top piece that's just full of little arms. But another really cool thing it's doing is it's regrowing all of the little arms that were kind of missing because it had been so leggy. It's actually filling out. I don't know if you can see, I'll try to insert some pictures here too of the growth that it's putting on all through here. It's also getting very beautifully sun stressed being in that window, and it has some really beautiful purple coloring going on the stem and on the leaves, and it's so beautiful. One thing I have learned about the blue that some cactus have and that this succulent does have, why did I say it that way? The blue, I don't know what it's for, but it only grows one time. So if you keep touching the plant over and over, it's gonna kind of rub off and it will disappear. So if you get blue on your succulents or on your cactus, try not to touch it that much, because it's just a really cool thing for your cactus to have. I'm sure there's another reason for it, but I don't know. All I know is it looks cool, and don't touch it. But yeah, this is the last plant I wanted to show you that looked really cool and is putting on all this new growth, and I'm so happy about it. I'm hoping I could take this stake out a little like soon. I did try taking it off before the video, and this whole piece, it's just too flimsy. I'm also thinking of maybe cutting it like right here and propagating it and like kind of replanting it. That way this whole stem can be gone, because there's nothing growing on this bottom stem. Like the new growth starts like kind of right here. So I don't know, let me know what you think, because I kind of want to cut it, but I'm also afraid it's not going to bounce back. Okay, actually I have one more. Oh my gosh, look how glorious this looks on camera. Oh my god, this plant is way more beautiful than I realized. Look at that. So this is a pepperomia rana verde. And I have one more of these. I'll show you this little tiny one that I have. He's hanging on, he's doing his best. But when I saw this at my local nursery at Osuna, my heart just started beating fast, and I was like, oh my god, I didn't even know this plant could get this big. Look how big and glorious this is. This was only $12, and I couldn't believe it, because I feel like that little one I got was at least $6 or $7. Oh, it's so big and glorious. But the cool thing it's doing, so it put out, actually when I bought it, it had a ton of these, and I think these are called inflorescence. And I always thought they were flowers, but I don't really know what they are. Maybe they're flowers, I don't know. But what I have heard is that you should cut them off of your plant. They don't really do anything bad for your plant, but I guess it takes a lot of energy for the plant to put these out, and it'll focus on that instead of growing new leaves. So I cut all of them off, and just a couple weeks later, here they all are again. They're all on the plant again. There's a ton of them. They're on every single little branch. Little tiny ones, some of them have multiples of them, all of these big ones. And it's putting out a ton of leaves. I'll have to insert little pictures and videos of these, because the camera is not going to pick up every single leaf that this is growing. And just the way that it looks, the way that every leaf and inflorescence looks as it's like curling out, it looks so cool and so wild. And I love it. Every single day I walk by this plant, I think it's just so pretty. And I decided to leave all these on it this time just because it looks so much more wild. But I love this one. It is so beautiful. I can't believe I found it. And I see them there every now and then, like again, and I keep wanting to buy another one just because look how beautiful this is. This one is very easy care. I just kind of wait till it dries out and then I water it, and that's it. It just gets kind of ambient light throughout the day in the living room, and it loves life. It's growing like crazy, and it's just, oh, it's so beautiful. And I love all these cool, crazy things it's putting out. They're so nice. So now that is it. That is the last plant I want to mention. If you have any cool things your plants are doing, let me know. I would love to know. But that is it. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe so you don't miss the next one, and I will see you later in another planty video. Goodbye.